Have you communicated with a social media user who goes by the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY?
I've had several phone calls with a person who goes by the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I don't actually know his real name.
And unfortunately, every time I make a call, it becomes content for them.
Help! I've been tossed overboard.
I'll have to bill you extra for my time.
Welcome to the show. You look incredible, like a dessert that owns a yacht.
That's exactly the vibe I was going for. You know, sweet but slightly out of your tax bracket.
Mission accomplished. How does one even shop for a suit when your head is...
Gold on my neck, gold on my hand, purple with the stripes, that's the walk of a man. Sidewalk shining, city lights humming, every step I take, they know a boss is coming.
Was barking on the phone, all that tough talk threatened. Now you looking at the floor like judge, I'm just stressing.
Police or zombie problems? Your tortoise won't stop breakdancing?
Try blue tape.
The miracle of our age. Yeah!
Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUy. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me. I'm a man.
You talk big, but your wallet's thin. Claim you're winning while I cash it in. Your schemes are weak, your pitch is lame. I'm stacking gold, you're playing games. I'm getting paid while you're just scammers. Swinging fake dreams like broken hammers. Flashing your lies like neon glamours. But I see through your cheap old banners. You sell the moon, but can't pay rent. Your big ideas just came and went. I'm counting checks while you pretend. Your pyramids crumble and my climb will end. I'm getting paid while you're just scammers. Swinging fake dreams like broken hammers. Flashing your lies like neon glamours. But I see through your cheap old banners. You hustle air, I breathe success. Your phony tricks are such a mess. I'll toast to wins, you fake distress. Your con's exposed, no second guess. Your empire's built on plastic pride, but truth's a wave you can't outride. I'm stacking real while you divide. The house of cards where you reside. You'll beg for mercy from coast to coast, saying where's that villain we hate the most. I'm masked up and on the attack. Verbal walk-bys, filled with facts. Yeah, I'm getting paid while you're just scammers, swinging fake dreams like broken hammers. Maybe you intimidate your friends and kin, but when I play to win. And here we are, right at the end, with your game of cheap pretend. Nothing about your world is real. A plastic person that suits to feel.
Must be lonely to sit on a throne made of silence, built not with trust but with lawsuits and threats. Follow like nails to board, shut the mouths and know you best. How sad is it to turn your name into a weapon, to aim at your own kin, your own crew, your own clients, just to keep the truth from catching daylight. But see, truth don't bruise, it burns, and maybe that's why you run from it. Why you hide behind courts, behind contracts and clauses, as if a signature can undo a sin. Because truth is kryptonite, and you ain't made of much steel to begin with.
Yeah, I'm getting paid while you're just scammers, swinging fake dreams like broken hammers. Getting messed up for what I love the most, wrecking lawyers on these streams I host. Short time.
What's up, folks? How's it going today? Man, YouTube is an absolute disaster today. It is not counting views. It is not sending notifications. I'm shocked 800 of you found your way here. It's telling some people that things are going on, but there is a massive, massive issue in. So if you would, let people know we are indeed live today. I'm telling you, today I was like, we're going to have a live stream. I don't know. But we are indeed going to have a live stream regardless. You know what? Unless it breaks. If it breaks, then it's not my fault, though. Okay, folks? So I'm just letting you know right now. If something happens to the live stream, it is not my fault. Let me clear my throat. But yes, I mean, it typically you'd be talking about like 1,200 people. So it's only sending, and that's assuming like people just, if you found it. I'm curious, how many of you actually got a notification today? I am very curious about that. Because I noticed something earlier. Here, let me show you what it was doing real quick. Like, this is crazy. I never trust, like when something happens, I never trust it not to be like some kind of ban. I'm always like, there's a ban. It's okay. So it's going out to some people. That's good. That's actually a good sign. But check this out. Well, one second. I have to pull up the thing. So somebody showed, see, I noticed this was happening, and then there's all kinds of other problems too. Check this out. Again, we got plenty to talk about today too. So you can see this is one person posting this. You notice their views, la 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 la, then it disappears, and then there's a little bit. Well, that's exactly what mine was doing today too. It basically shows zero anything, and the channel never has 0 views. It just doesn't. There's too much material. There's always at least 100 views rolling in or something. You know what I mean? There's always something, but it went down to nothing. And when it does that, that means it counts some, but there's always problems. But anyway, that isn't anything on you all. It's just, I'm just noting, it messes with your metrics heavily. Usually I don't stream on days like that, but God, I like hanging out with you guys. Now, check this out. So before we get into our wonderful, wonderful case, I actually want to note a few things from yesterday because, stupid people don't know how to read, I guess. I'm not really sure. Sometimes I wonder, are these people that stupid? So they brought up last night, the subject of read my Substack. You like my name? I think I need to change that back. I do love that, though. I do not, by the way, have a Substack. I'm kidding, that, obviously. But yesterday they brought up sponsor. Now, when I'm talking about this, this is not necessarily to talk about the sponsor, although love to them, for sure. But this is to talk about what came up last night. These nutty people are telling the world, you know, why? Remember, these are the same people threatening to sue everybody. Okay. So they're telling everybody the wonderful defamatory thing that we're not sponsored. Nobody would sponsor us, in fact, you know, which is stupid by itself because, yeah, I've got a large enough channel that you get a lot of let's just say I get a lot of sponsorship offers, a lot of them, and have for a long time. But talking about Keto Brains, they say that that's not sponsorship. Why? Because it's an affiliate link. Now, if you don't know what an affiliate link is for some reason, affiliate links are when you go in, you click on a link, you buy something, and the people that are there with that, they get part of the revenue. Okay. That is that a sponsorship? That's a gray area. But myself, I don't like affiliate links. I don't like that idea. You know, I don't know if I would ever do an affiliate. Maybe I'd have to find something I really like to try something like that. You know, I want to find something that everybody likes and not try to nickel and dime them. You know what I mean? That's crazy. That's a different thing. You know, you find a company you trust and whatever, but that's not what we do. We actually, the link that we utilize there is something that through the sponsor, they appreciate everything that's been going on because it's gone well for all of us. It's gone well for them, you know, sponsorship wise. It's gone well for us. You know, we've seen good turnout for it, and we've seen, you know, good actual we've seen good progress with utilization too. So they decided that they would make a landing page, which is also a thank you, but the code and everything, it's a thank you. It's some way to say, hey, you know, people that are here from these folks, we're thanking them for being here. The reason that we use a code there, first of all, number one, it gets you a discount, but number two, it also helps track like everybody that's coming in, so we can do things like giveaways. So we know, hey, you picked up something, you're from this. Well, you're not just one of the regular customers that came in, so we have giveaways. But these idiots, they are so assured in their stupidity that it just amazes me. You know, it's not typical for a place that has they roll out your own landing page, you know, like this. I mean, we appreciate it too. See, they, like I said, they use a code, which is, again, it helps get you all any kind of discount there plus. But yeah, so last night, if you missed out on the stupid there was some, I don't think they got one thing right. Like, this is the amazing thing. So I was catching up on some of this because it was supposed to be, here was the advertisement for how last night, it was going to be a big expose on I thought, Umbrellagate. And the reason they said that they wanted a gate attached to it is because I add gate to everything. Now, things like Comics Gate, if you've ever heard that, that wasn't self-named. That was a name that mainstream media attached to it. Just like anything else with gate, you know, that is not a self-applied label. Now, did we take that label and take it away from the people who tried to use it as demeaning? Yes. But it's not a self-applied label. So, what idiots. That was stupid. On top of that, man, they really got to hate on for freaking Megan Fox, dude. God, they hate Megan Fox. It's just amazing. But there was one other thing in that. I'm trying to remember what it was. Gosh, it won't come to me right now. There's one other wrong thing that they were throwing around. I mean, everything. There wasn't like one thing that was right. But I learned something yesterday. They are very desperate for material. very, very desperate for material. And that's usually when they are the worst. With Jeremy Hale's not talking about them right now, they are probably at their worst. And typical people you can ignore, but these kind of folks, they just like to accelerate, Yeah, let's see. Yeah, actually, I saw that. Figured, give me a second. Figured it had a hybrid sponsor affiliate relationship, flat fee, bonus. Yeah, with the sponsor thing, it's just they're a small company, so they sponsor us. Again, I'm not going to go get into the specifics of it, but we're not affiliates. Like I don't like the idea of just affiliate. I just, you know what I mean? That's not something I've ever really gone toward. Because it makes me feel like I'm hustling or something, on there. So just flat up affiliate linking. But with sponsorship, I mean, typically now people use typical sponsorships. By the way, what was that other thing? It's driving me nuts now. There was one other thing that they threw in there, and I thought, man, that is the dumbest thing ever. I mean, all of it was like, man, they brought up their old court case, and they said, yeah, Tug was talking about the court case back when I had, and some of their idiots were like, yeah, I remember him saying that. Yeah, actually, Megan brought that up in a live stream. That wasn't me at all. I love watching. See, when you look at their chat and what they talk about, it's interesting because they just follow along with whatever. They're like, yeah, that's what happened, and it's like, no, that actually isn't what happened. Was the conversation brought up? Yes, but Megan's the one who found it and dug it up, and I thought that was funny. They were like, it happened on Tug's channel. He's like, what? Oh my God. Whoever's they've got watching our show, man, they need to. No wonder they're mad at Tammy. You know it? Because when Tammy was around, at least the notes were better. I mean, shit. Oh my God. Anyway, so today what I want to do is I want to really get into the lawsuit stuff. As you know, we sued. We sued because somebody, well, let me just show you a paper on that first. It's very telling when you start looking at it, because you really get a feel for not only why somebody would sue, but I mean, again, it's just the insanity that was pointed our way from this person. So we ended up, said most of you know about this, but still, if you don't, that's good. I want you to understand when we get to this. We ended up suing because Leslie Ferderigos and her boy Michael here, they ended up wanting to come after us, wanted to put together some garbage litigation. They wanted malicious prosecution, abuse of process. I mean, again, you look through what they were doing. So let's go to the Lord here. Let me start rolling through this for you. I don't want to blind you when I start rolling through this. Okay, so just give me a second. I want to start rolling into it. I mean, it's a lot. It is a lot. It will kind of blow your mind how much of it there is. Give me 1 second. I'm scrolling. I have to scroll down to a certain point, and I don't want you to have to watch me scroll like 100 pages or back and forth for like 30 pages to get to the other. Oh God, there's a bunch. I mean, her filings are crazy, man. They are absolutely crazy. So her original filing, if people, like I said, if you don't know why we ended up suing Leslie Ferderigos, she decided that she would sue us not once, but twice. It's right here. Now, when you look at this thing, it's absolutely insane. I mean, when you go through and you start reading through this, I mean, again, this is nutty. You know, this is her filing. Her filing is, I mean, look at this. Oh, the defendants have a subscriber scheme. There's a scheme to show that they've calculated rewards and loyalty toward Hales with inflated followers, increased visibility, and monetary compensation. These people who do it are these folks over here. And it's insane. It's absolutely insane. But I mean, you have through this, look, this was her filing, by the way. Well, one of them, again, she sued, dropped us off a lawsuit, continued to threaten us with baseless lawsuit, added us again to baseless lawsuit, and then dropped us yet again. You know, it's amazing too. When she goes through like defamation with this, she was complaining about, oh no, look, that she retired to avoid disbarment. She was disbarred. She was knocked up by an acquaintance. She was tran. That she recreated revenge porn. All of these statements were either made by random people online that were not us, or they are misconstrued. Like nobody actually said she created revenge porn. They said she disseminated, that she showed this stuff, which, well, YouTube seemed to very much agree with what it was. So, but she went through this entirely insane lawsuit. Again, look at this. Look at this massive thing. It just keeps going and going. Now that's the lawsuit itself. And then you have all of this. What's crazy is I was going through some of this, and you're going to see the same thing. There's a reason I'm showing you this, because I want to drill a fact in when I look at this new document. She includes things that have nothing to do with this stuff at all. Like for example, I thought this was funny, by the way. She put in here, you know, that she chose to permanently retire, is not eligible to practice, not eligible for reinstatement. I thought that was really funny, because she's like, oh, you know, I'm just normally retired. No problem. Then she shows emails that she was getting. You know, emails, she starts to talk about some of them. And when she goes into them, she brings up Ia Waterman. Okay. Now, in this, what I thought was really funny about the emails that she brings up in it is I saw this all happen from the beginning. And the the DJ Redis stuff too. I got to go into that as well. But the emails that she puts in here, these were emails that she requested. So the emails that she requested people write when she put out her quid pro quo items for two people that were sued, she actually got emails from people. She put them on her website as emails that she'd asked for, and then she tried to weaponize them later on. But that's the same thing she does with DJ Radis. DJ Radis, remember, she asked people like DJ Radis to roast her. In fact, I think I still have that. And then she puts this stuff into, give me a second, roast. Yeah, there it is. Roast me. And then she ends up putting this stuff into lawsuit. So you notice that, like, she's complaining about what DJ Radis is doing, what material he's making. Well, the problem is, the reason she doesn't want things like that to go to court, first of all, her stuff is crazy. It comes across as absolutely freaking crazy, like glue sniffing crazy. I mean, these documents are out there in the ether. But while she's complaining about people supposedly harassing, she's asking people to do this. Here, you know, it's DJ Radis. She says, since everyone is having such a fun time roasting me, and clearly you can see I can hold my own with my content creation, I challenge each of you boys to create a video by Friday, the ultimate roast, and I will do the same against you. We'll have everyone vote on best content, blah, blah, blah. So she's asking for people to do this, and then she sues, or she puts it in part of her lawsuit as proof of harassment. I mean, these kind of things, these are the kind of things that they run you into problems. This is also why I keep a lot of receipts, because it's just like 2L in the gang now. You know, they keep talking about use of copyrighted materials. Well, it's funny, they have one of Megan Fox's videos. They have a snippet of that on their channel, setting in YouTube Shorts. They actually have one of a video trying to put together the begging Megan thing. And is that fair use? Sure, just like the stuff that they complain about is fair use. It's how it works. You know, you can't turn around and then be like, oh, well, it only works for me. You know, it's the same way for her. But she does this quite a bit through this insane filing. Okay. I mean, again, it goes on and on and on. All these emails right here, though, she asked for emails. She asked for these to be sent to her. She wanted people to write. But now, after she ends up the first time she drops her crazy lawsuits, tell her, okay, that's good to go. But then she starts threatening again. And she says that essentially she has years that she can hold this lawsuit over our heads, and she can return to it at any time. And if she decides to file it again, oh boy, judge will be mad at us. So we call her out on it, and we tell her, if you file a garbage lawsuit on us, if you do it again, that we will sue you over this, because you do this all the time to people, and that's not going to fly. Well, she didn't believe that. So we did indeed file a lawsuit against it. And we noted in here, again, about her, not just vexatious litigation, but more. You know, in fact, we haven't even updated the lawsuit yet to truly show everything we would go after. Like, for example, during the time while the lawsuit is going on, you know, the crazy grooming crap, again, not to belabor that point. I've made my point on that. But she and her lawyer pushed that on their channel. Can you imagine being a lawyer and promoting that idea? I mean, here, check this out. I'll give you a couple of snippets from it. Here's I'm not going to play the video or anything, but here is the transcript of something they redacted and then tried to run off with it. But when they're going through, you know, they used like my name, married a client, younger than him. Oh, that's sick. A client. Oh, therapist, younger, underage client of something. I mean, again, this is someone you're suing and their lawyer. This kind of stuff, again, they talk about how horrible we are. This is the kind of stuff that costs people their license, you know. And I do have the video of it too. I did keep the videos. I always make sure I keep the videos of stuff like this. But they threw that stuff in there. They also, interestingly, look who is all in there. Lisa. Oh, yeah. Talk about Tug's relationship for a second. What happened here? Well, you see them stumbling, all of them. Like, didn't he take like some young girl he was counseling? Rumors. I never checked. I don't have receipts, but someone told us he was a therapist, that he jumped and pounced on a young, vulnerable. That's rumors. Rumors got her pregnant, kicked her out while pregnant. I mean, what the fuck? You know, could be there anyway. That's, you know, Lisa says right. Wait, what? Lisa says right. Interesting, huh? So that kind of stuff hasn't even made it into an amended report. We are still on the portion where we're talking about vexatious litigants. You know, a litigant that likes to sue people and likes to file garbage. So what does she do? Well, as I showed you the other day, I'm going to show you a couple of these, but I'm not going to read this. She drops her lawyer. on my birthday, funny enough. She also decides that she's going to file for sanctions on that day. Why is she filing for sanctions? Oh, my Lord. It's such a terribly written thing. I mean, if you want to see a terribly written document, by the way, God, look at this. She pursues sanctions. Again, we went over the sanctions thing, so I'm not going to hit that. I'm going to hit the other documents that's in here. And then I'm going to talk about the case somewhat and what's going on. So she goes through, though, and her whole thing is, well, I've never had anything ever dismissed on the merits. Her argument is essentially, I can file whatever the fuck I want as long as I knock it out before the court actually has a chance to look at it. It's an insane notion. So if you have a problem with that, you need to pay me. I mean, think about that argument. I filed a bunch of garbage lawsuits, and when you call me out, well, pay me. Why? Well, the funny thing is, too, her legal filing is just chocked full of filler. Have you ever seen somebody that just does filler pages? Because that's what she does on this. If you look, when she goes through, she tries to make this quote unquote point, right? And through this, she puts in the statute, okay, the legal standard. This legal standard, what you typically do with a legal standard is you note what applies to you, right? Well, she doesn't do that. She just quotes this entire statute. The entire statute. She copies and pastes it in here. The whole thing. It's basically saying, hey, Judge, yeah, you figure out what applies to me in that. And then on top of this fun time, she decides that she's also going to file for Jeremy Hale's being a vexatious litigant. Now, I love this. I love this filing for about, a million reasons. My favorite reasoning for this document here, though, is the fact that she puts in things that that I can't, for the life of me, I cannot figure out why you would copy and paste them in here. Like, for example, one of the documents that she puts in here as proof that Jeremy Hales is a vexatious litigant is the thumbnail case. You know, where Bruce is getting in, they're asking for Bruce, rather, to be taken to task. Yeah, she put that in this. It's one of the pieces that she added to it. It's quite crazy. So what she does is she does a copy paste job. She takes the filing that was filed against her, talking about her being a vexatious litigant. She copies and pastes it, and you can see it when you read through this. So let's look at this together, because I think you'll find it fun. So come now, defendant Leslie Federico's buying through herself as pro se. Oh, she's pro se. Retired attorney, pursuant to, hereby respectfully moves the court to declare Jeremy Hales a vexatious litigant. In support, defendant states Jeremy Hales has engaged in a pattern of vexatious litigation that meets the statutory definition under Florida's vexatious litigant law. Let me show you something, by the way, while I'm rolling through this. Now, the funny thing is, right off the bat, when she starts going into all of this, check this out. I want to do a comparison, like a compare and contrast, all right? So, Melissa, by the way, thank you for this. I think this is beautiful. Let me pull this up for you real quick. Do a compare and contrast. All right, this is what we were just looking at, right? Right here. Yeah. This is what was filed against her. It's the same wording. It's the same thing. And the funny thing is, when you look at this versus you look at what's here, she decides that certain things might need to be removed, though. When it goes through the definition of a vexatious litigant, you'll notice that there's a little bit of something missing she takes out. Can you see this here? Because she removes the word pro se. She went in and copied word for word portions, not just of this part of the filing, but of others. But you notice the word change here. She leaves out, she'll put it in other places, but she leaves out with certain things the word pro se. Isn't that interesting? So she copies and pastes, but she intentionally misleads the court by leaving out the portion of the statute that you have to be a pro se, even though she will, in her copy and pasting, lie to the court and tell them that Jeremy Hales was pro se. But you notice she took that out intentionally because, again, Jeremy Hales, look at this right here. Okay, I'm going to read you what was in the filing that we had versus. All right, just notice that word missing. A vexatious litigant is defined as a person who, in the preceding 5 years, has commenced, prosecuted, or maintained pro se 5 or more civil actions in any court in Florida. She removed the word pro se intentionally. She can't remove the descriptors that talk about, I mean, again, that's intentional. I mean, she is going out of her way to mislead not just the court, but the people that she talked to about this. When she's trying to convince Lisa and others that the statute works in her favor, she's lying to them about what the statute says, because that's a huge key in this. And again, she copy pastes quite a bit of this thing, showing you that she kind of omitted that on purpose. Isn't that interesting? I think that's amazing. So you see again, she's saying Jeremy Hales is that, and that vexatious litigant, again, it's just amazing. She left out the word pro se on purpose. But 5 or more civil actions in any court in Florida, excluding small claim cases, which had finally and adversely determined against them. If a court determines that a person is a vexatious litigant, it may issue a pre-filing order prohibiting the individual from commencing any new pro se actions. You notice that. So she's trying again. She took it out of the beginning of it intentionally, but was too lazy to take it out of the rest. She, again, I can think of no other reason to do that but to mislead people, because she didn't correct anything else that she does, but she intentionally took it out of that first part. It's like she thought she filed an "I know you are, but what am I?" And this document is sloppy. It is terrible. It's the kind of thing that you got to remember. Again, she brags about being a retired lawyer. I would be very upset if this person ever represented me in any way, shape, or form. I would be pissed off, But this restriction is intended to prevent frivolous or abusive litigation while still allowing access to the courts for meritorious claims. The court may also require the vexatious litigant to furnish security to cover the opposing parties' anticipated litigation expenses. See, what's funny is they've been bragging about this right here. Well, we're going to force the coverage of litigation expenses. Did you read the thing? Again, they've been bragging about this for a long time now. Now, this is, by the way, this is the person that has been giving them advice about suing people, telling them that they have this wonderful case and all this other bullshit. This is their legal expert. You know, it's amazing, by the way, what kind of similarities you find when you compare documents to documents. So I did a little bit of comparison with some documents that were sent out, and boy, oh boy, there's really some fascinating stuff in there. It tells you, though, who exactly has been giving these idiots advice. God, man. Just, it's amazing. Maybe you should watch what happens with them before you threaten people, by the way. But Florida courts can declare a party a vexatious litigant on its own initiative under the Florida vexatious litigant law. Again, notes explicitly provides that the court in any judicial circuit may, on its own motion or the motion of any party, enter a pre-filing order prohibiting a vexatious litigant from commencing pro se any new action in the court of that circuit without first obtaining leave of the administrative judge on that circuit. Now, again, you notice they managed to take out the word pro se one time, but there it is again. It's there over and over. I mean, she lies to the court in this filing and will say that this does apply to Jeremy Hales because Jeremy Hales had filed pro se. Yes, ma'am. Hey, I'm live. I'm doing the live stream, baby. Remember?
Early in the morning?
Yeah, remember I do one on Sundays. Remember?
Oh, it's a Sunday.
Yeah, it's Sunday. Do you get confused on the day?
Yeah, because I don't have a clock and I don't have my phone to tell the day.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Is that what happened? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't have a phone.
Oh no.
And we're not talking about what I did to get the phone.
Oh yeah, we won't talk about that at all.
On
right.
live.
No, we're not going to talk about that at all, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would delete.
Well, don't talk about it then.
I would delete it though.
Okay. All right.
But not YouTube though.
Okay. Well, you better go upstairs and be a big girl then. Okay.
Hey everyone.
Hey everyone. By the way.
Everyone's sending yellow hearts for.
Yeah, they always like to tell you hi.
Yeah, you remember how many people said Pennywise is cute last time?
I did see that. Yeah, but hey, I'm talking about some lawsuit stuff, so go do your thing. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Here, give me a hug. Give me a hug. Give me a kiss. All right, go.
Okay.
Love you.
How many if anyone sends me?
If anyone what? Sends you something? Good Lord. I'll tell you. You go upstairs, okay? Love you.
Okay.
Oh, my. Close the door. All right. Thank you. Close the door. But entering, again, pro se, you notice. So, again, she's trying to go after Jeremy Hales after it says it very clearly pro se, which he is not a pro se. In Brown versus Miami-Dade, the 3rd District held, while the Florida Constitution does indeed provide a right to access to the courts, providing the court shall be open to every person for the redress of injury, and justice shall be administered without sale, initial, or delay. The right is not without limitation. A litigant's right to access may be properly restricted if the litigant is abusing the legal process. In State versus Spencer, noting that any citizen, including a citizen attacking his or her conviction, abuses the right to pro se access. You notice this word comes up. There's a reason I'm reading this to you, because this is Leslie Federico's, someone who represented people in a courtroom knowingly lying in a document, putting in a trash document stating that, number one, she's making the point that even if Hales would have filed his cases pro se, even if that was the case, she tries to make one, like when you have one case, she tries to make one case multiple cases. I mean, it's just wild to see. It's a very deceptive game that she's playing. Oh man, thank you, Rick, friend. I'll tell her. I'm sure she'll come back. So I'll tell her thank you. Thank you, Denise. I will tell her too. I'm like I said, I am sure she'll come back. Yeah. I got her some Oreos earlier today. I went down to the store while they were still like lagged out. It was funny. They seemed shocked. They're like, "Oh my gosh, where'd this stuff come from?" You know, Gigi was around, so. But yeah, so pro se access by filing repetitious and frivolous pleadings, thereby diminishing the ability of the courts to devote their finite resources to the consideration of legal claims. Jimenez versus State also. The Florida courts have deemed when necessary exercised inherent judicial authority to sanction abusive. Page 2 of 7 litigant. Page 2 of 7. She copied the page number. Oh my God. When she copied and pasted her stuff in, she accidentally copied the page. You know how like right here, if I were copying and pasting this, you know how the page number's right here and it notes page number? She copied the page number. Oh my God. That is amazing. Oh, that is so dumb. Oh, Lord. Oh my God. You talk about lazy. She didn't even. Oh my God. He's the worst lawyer ever. Oh my God. How do you do that? Oh yeah. Well, thank God. Thank God Jeremy Hales is a page 3 of 7 litigants. Oh my Lord. I mean, she copied the page number. Oh, this tells you, in the document and everything, you can tell exactly. She got her argument for someone else. And you can tell that as we go along. Oh my God, that is amazing. That's amazing. So Jeremy Hales has repeatedly filed unmeritorious pleadings, requests for relief, and other documents, conducted unnecessary discovery, and engaged in tactics that are frivolous and solely intended to cause unnecessary delay in actions. To date, Jeremy Hales has had 10 cases decided on the merits and dismissed with prejudice for failure to state a claim. And one, what's funny about this too is, what she adds as proof of this, by the way? She adds in the not judge decision. She adds in recommendations. That's right. She puts in the recommendations for Fed 2. She treats Fed 2 like it's its own case. So every person that's in there, that's 8 cases for her. It's like, what? And again, he's not pro se. But oh my God. And one case voluntarily dismissed. So notes up. On 05/08/2023, filed a complaint against the town of Otter Creek, Florida, to enforce public records request, in which he voluntarily dismissed. Yeah, got his public records. Oh no. Here now, look. This is Fed 2, which she's now. What's amazing is some of the stuff, like I said. We'll look through some of the exhibits. We won't read all the exhibits, obviously, but just some of the exhibits are amazing when you go through and look at them. So she's treating Fed too. Like all of these are separate. Again, she knows better. But I'm surprised we don't have another page in here. But look, this is all Fed 2. Fed 2, Fed 2, Fed 2, Fed 2. So this is all one case. Then they have their appeal. Again, this is not pro se. She also, or look at this, she puts in the 11/10/2025, she puts in that Jeremy Hales and Randy Shockett filed a complaint against Bruce Manskin and LMNOP, alleging unauthorized practice of law, tortious interference, and falsehoods, civil conspiracy. Well, guess what? Bruce actually had that referred over. And in fact, she adds this in. Now, why would you add this in? Because you're an idiot. That's why you would add it in. She's so dumb in this because this has no meaning whatsoever. She's trying to make a point that doesn't even fit here. She's actually trying to poison the well. Unfortunately, oh man, the stuff that you can pull up with this person it's incredible. It's amazing sometimes when you look through like the resume of her and Michael. Oh my Lord. I mean, it is something else. It's like almost otherworldly to see just how screwed up their dossier of stupid is. But so she puts in that, which, let's see. On September 25th, 2023, he filed an order of protection ex parte against Preston, and it continues to litigate this case through the date of expiration of injunction. What a moron. You mean you put in the protective order that he legitimately obtained? So she's so stupid. She put in his legitimate protective order. Yeah, that's anybody with half a brain would understand that courts don't look at already decided items like that and think, yeah, that was actually decided in his favor. Therefore, I'm going to blah, blah, blah. That's not how it works. Oh my Lord. These people, man, sometimes I'm kind of sad for people in a way, because I know that there were folks that actually hired these people to do law work for them. I mean, imagine that. Imagine you were in a real bond, right? Like you're in a guardianship case, because that's where, see, one of the things you learn about guardianship cases is you learn that there are a lot of not so nice people that they can hide themselves in anything they've ever done under lock and key, basically. You know, you can't see what happens in most guardianship cases. You don't know. So if these people have ever done anything stupid or bad, yeah, that's true. Anyone with half a brain, you're right, cynic. Anyone with half a brain, well, we're excluding people, right? It's true, man. Also, plaintiff accordingly seeks this court to declare Hale's a vexatious litigant, hereforth properly sets forth with 5 or more civil actions. So you notice again, she intentionally leaves out the pro se part. She intentionally left it out at the beginning. She leaves it out here, but it will come back in. It will still come in. She, like I said, she's trying to mislead the court, but she's too stupid to remove the pro ses from other portions in this. My God. I almost want to laugh at it, but it shows you again. This is also a lesson on if you ever have to go to court, be real careful on who you pick up. Seriously, you know, I talked a little bit about like divorce proceedings, right? And the lawyer that my ex ended up with. You know how predatory some of the stuff they did was, and you know the lies. You know, the way that they would just omit, I mean, just straight up, like wouldn't even pass on things when they're supposed to, or would make decisions. Like, again, you know, I needed glasses for my oldest, and I wanted to get them out of, they freeze your communal assets. So they froze all of my saved money and were eating it at an insane rate. But yeah, think about this. So for those 2 years, in order to buy my kids that time, I was figuring it up. I had to take a mortgage on the home. I took all the money that I was going to pay my home off. I'd been saving up for it. And, you know, for everything I'd done, comic books and stuff, I ended up spending close to $280,000, almost everything I had. It bought me 2 years free, and finally, so my ex came to her senses there. But man, these people will bleed you. Bad lawyers will bleed you. That's what these people want. And in cases, and the reason I mention that is because these are the kind of lawyers right here. You run into these people. They are the people that hide behind the guardianship thing. I didn't even get anywhere, and it cost me that much money. You know, and I had no control. I have control over mine, but the courts let the other people run wild on you, and you don't have any control over them. It's craziness. But anyway, 5 or more civil actions which have been commenced, prosecuted, and maintained. Jeremy Hale's over the immediate preceding 5-year period. And examples of unmeritorious filings and tactics are shown infra. Now, again, you notice they left out the pro se parts. They removed it. Florida statute there authorizes the court to declare a party a vexatious litigant when that party is engaged in conduct described above. This is going to get fun here. Now, look, this is where the copy paste really gets bad, because you'll notice the qualifiers like her. They're all over. Why? Because Leslie went and copied and pasted the stuff about her and just entered Jeremy Hill's name. Oh. Oh my God. I mean, you got to admit, this is awesome, right? This is one of the worst filings I've ever seen in my life. Not because, and it gets dumber, but it's so bad because, again, she went in and they were celebrating this. These morons were celebrating this. This is somebody, again, that has been giving them legal advice on things. Telling them how to do X, Y, or Z. Man, again, these idiots, they really think that their legal liability somehow is low, and that other people for reading transcripts and more is somehow high. Don't take legal advice from disbarred or retired in lieu of discipline lawyers. Don't take advice from folks like that. I mean, honestly, it's just a mess. By the way, I noticed something interesting. I noticed if you watch, I want you to watch specific YouTube channels, and I want you to watch their view counts. And when you watch your view counts, I want you to remember something. Live streams, the views on a live stream, unless it's an outlier. You'll get a weird one every now and then, but typically views on a live stream, they stop coming in after 24 hours. It pretty much dies, right? Watch channels out there and watch them pick up views for weeks. If you're like, well, Tug, maybe others work differently. No, they don't. YouTube doesn't promote any of it. So it gets what it gets in the moment. And then weirdly enough, just watch. Again, I'm not attributing that to anyone. I'm just saying, watch YouTube views out there. See how they work. I've been doing this a long time, and it's interesting to see how that works out. But anyway, so Jeremy Hale's actions have caused unnecessary expense to plaintiffs and have wasted judicial resources. She actually, again, has taken stuff about herself and has tried to be like, Jeremy Hale's. It's amazing. You got to admit it is amazing, right? I think it's amazing. I'm not surprised by any of it. Like, none of it surprises me anymore. But if you were going to file something, would you file this? I mean, even if you, like you folks out there that aren't lawyers, right? I mean, we're all not lawyers. Well, there's a few of you that may be lawyers out there. I'm not saying not all of us, but the majority of us are not lawyers in this game, right? And yet, you know better. You know not to file something like this because it looks bad. I mean, okay, so let's see that. Has commenced, prosecuted, or maintained pro se. Notice that word there again, pro se. That word sticks out glaringly. Again, it gets omitted sometimes it doesn't. And when again, you got to remember copy paste job. What I don't get here is there's no, if you're going to go in and you're going to remove something, why wouldn't you omit it like all the time? I mean, if you're going to lie, why not lie heavy? Because you can tell when you look through her stuff, you can tell that she copies and pastes. Because like I said, you're going to see the descriptors, her, when Jeremy Hales is referred to as her because of the copy paste. It's so amazing. I do love these cases. They're so bizarre. All of them are. But pro se, 5 actions within the past 5-year period that are finally and adversely determined against her. Notice that, her. Therefore, she meets the criteria for a vexatious litigant pursuant to Florida statute, such that her filing privileges must be restricted, and this court should require her to furnish security to cover plaintiff's anticipated legal expenses. Again, the copy paste job is so bad right here that she just missed all of these. She didn't even bother to change. All you have to do on the he's, what's amazing about this is it's 1 letter removal from each one. You think about it. Turning she to he, you just got to knock off the S there. Turning her to he, just knock off the R here. All you had to do was knock off 1 letter. She couldn't even bother to do that. These people are clowns, man. They are clowns. Pursuant to Florida statute, the court may, on its own motion or on the motion of any party, enter a pre-filing order prohibiting a vexatious litigant from commencing pro se again. Oh my God. You know what's funny is, do you see the other copy paste problem? Do you see it coming up right here? This is a beautiful one too. Any new action in the court in the the courts of this circuit without first obtaining leave of the administrative judge of this circuit. Number 19. Now she's on number 9 here, right? But when she copies and pastes this stuff, oh my God. This is like, you got to admit this is pretty awesome, yeah? I mean, you do. You have to admit that is pretty awesome. She forgets to remove the the numbering and everything else where she's copying or pasting items. God, she's nuts. It's so dumb. I mean, it blows my mind. Oh my Lord. You gotta admit that's amazing, folks. I was looking at everything. I was like, what? This can't be it. This can't be when she filed. Somebody's punking me. No, it's real. I certify that conferral prior to filing is not required under rule, blah, blah, because this is because Florida statute, which governs vexatious proceedings, does not impose a conferral requirement for filing this motion. The statute outlines the procedural framework for declaring a party a vexatious litigant, including the court's authority to require security or impose sanctions, but it does not mention any obligation to confer with opposing party prior to filing this. Wherefore, Leslie Federico's respectfully requests that this court, 1, declare Jeremy Hale as a vexatious litigant, according to that statute. 2, enter a pre-filing order prohibiting Jeremy Hale from commencing pro se any new action in the courts, this circuit, without first obtaining leave from administrator. I mean, you have to be like like I said, they were celebrating the idea that they were going to cause Hales to have to put in some secure money. And then she goes pro se. It's like, wait a minute. You think maybe that'll backfire on you? Oh my God. And you talk about, oh God. Can you imagine a hearing for this? I really want to go to a hearing for this, to be honest. I want to go in person and see it play out. But Your Honor, I'm ADA protected. Holy God. Oh, my Lord. Hey, folks, I want you to try something for me, if you could, please. And then tell me you have in a comment, if you would. This time, this is, let's see, time 4:25. If you would, refresh your screen. Every one of you that can. I mean, I know everybody can't, but if you can, refresh your screen. That would be just refreshing YouTube. That's all I need. And then just tell me in a comment. Done. I'm again tracking something. I was talking about this yesterday. And I will describe it at length when we are done with our tests, let's say. But I do appreciate it. Like I said, there is a point to doing this. It will take, I don't want to try just some one-off with it. So I see a bunch of you doing. Thank you. I appreciate that. Like I said, it is a test. This is a test of the Emergency Broadcast Network. The other thing that they say that they want is for Jeremy Hales to furnish security in the amount of $37,000 to provide security for the payments of the cost of this litigation and reasonable attorney fees. See, that's the funny thing. They do all kinds of crazy shit, and Said they think Jeremy Hales is going to be their pay piggy. The problem that she has is that she has commenced quite a few actions pro se. Her excuse for this, again, is that, well, I dropped it before it could go to court, therefore. I mean, what an excuse. Again, she's saying that she can file anything against anyone at any time. We have her talking about, again, as part of her recommendations for people filing stuff in court. She talked about how she would file court items, and then right before they went to court, she would dismiss them because she didn't want to have to deal with a court. I mean, she went on record stating that. It's not written either. It's her stating it. So you have her not only doing that, but essentially bragging, hey, I file garbage things. And I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing to see her do that. And I mean, she's so flagrant about it. Now, this stuff, again, she's like, but Jeremy Hales needs to provide $37,000. Why? Because that's what it's going to cost. Oh my God. It's so funny because her freaking pro se filings, they cost a whole lot of nothing, Leslie. I mean, what lawyer expenses? What cost of litigation? Where the fuck are you getting $37,000, Leslie? You're not an attorney. Well, I mean, seriously. What exactly has her quote unquote attorney filed anyway? I mean, again, what a weird message, right? I totally need to be able to get like $37,000 for my pro se work here. It's just, when they talk about reasonable attorney fees. Remember when she was talking about how we were going to get taken for like $300,000, before we even filed. Like we would already have been found guilty of whatever. You remember that? Now you notice we still haven't had that problem. We still haven't had to pay her $300,000. What's funny is on 2L's birthday, she comes busting into the room and tells all these ignorant folks that are listening that Megan, Jeremy, myself, we've all been sanctioned. And her audience is like, they're confused. They're like, what? Something's happened, And of course, they follow along like lemmings, with non-questioning lemmings, because they still are buying. I don't even know what the fuck they think, but maybe that's good not to know what an idiot thinks. But they didn't question that at all. They're like, oh, and she went into explanation about, they've been ordered to pay. Not that there was a filing for sanctions. But Leslie, it seems like she was there. So I'm assuming Leslie had told her that we had been sanctioned. Not that there had been a filing, but that we had been just outright sanctioned. Which is so absurd, it's stupid. I mean, again, you look at her filings and you tell me if she's met that criteria. Her argument, again, is I can pretty much continue to file forever as long as I don't let it get to a judge. Which is a horrible, not just a horrible misuse of the court system, but it's such a spit in the face of anybody that's having to deal with stuff. And on top of that, again, she's like, now you've got to pay me. You've got to put aside $37,000. Maybe we need a secure deposit from you, ma'am, since you like to file garbage. And you filed more garbage. Oh, God, I love that I can read this stupid. So, grant such other and further relief as the court deems necessary. Now, here's a really good question for you guys. Okay? I want to show you something right here, and I want you to answer me this, all right? Now, I need your help with it. This is very important, okay? I want you to look at a document with me, and when you look at this document, I want you to tell me what date it says on it, okay? I need you in here. This is a consent to terminate representation, yeah? Now, what's the date on the bottom? What you read that. I'm being very serious about that. What is the date there? Let me blow it up for you if it's hard to see. Well, I don't know if I can blow it up anymore. Let me see. There you go. Check that out. Everybody's got it right. May 15th. You see that? We all see that together, right? Okay. There's a point to this. It's very important. Okay. Now, I want you to look at this little document, Piggy, and tell me what's the date on this document here? What's that date there? I'm just curious about this. Am I reading something wrong here? So let's see this. So that's the following day. Now, that means that on the 15th, she terminated her lawyer, right? Yeah. Now, the lawyer is the one with e-portal access. You know, remember Paint Chips complaining just over and over about how he has to wait for filings and it's unfair and he should be given e-portal access. Well, that's because to get e-portal access, well, you're not representing yourself. You know? So for her to have filed this, whose credentials is she using? Who is she filing as? I mean, again, she's terminated her lawyer, right? So it can't be him, no. Has to be someone else, right? That's kind of strange, yeah. Right, Michael? Exactly. I see that in there too, this chat. Right, Michael? Exactly. So you see a problem here. She actually, interestingly too, she her signatures, I want to show you some signatures too. And you tell me if these signatures, well, did these look like the same squiggly thing? Look at that. Does that look like the same person that signed those? Look at that. What the hell is that? I don't think, oh my God. What do I have to do? Inhale pencil shavings to get this stupid? I mean, what's going on? Holy God. Oh my Lord. This is the funniest shit ever, I swear to God. I mean, look at that. That is so bad. It does look like it. I mean, it looks like it has been marked out in crayon. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. I feel like somebody's playing a gag on me. I'm telling you, Ashton Kutcher is going to walk in one day and be like, the last 3 years of your life, you've been punked. Be like, it's the longest punked episode ever. Oh. I'd be more inclined to hear that than the reality, because these people, Lord, I mean, look at that. Oh my God. Have you ever electronically signed anything? I mean, even with electronic signature comes across, that's the same person. Ain't no way that's a different person right there. You know? We all give ourselves away, and that now exhibit wise through this stuff, I want to show you what's in the exhibits because it kind of gets funny after a minute. All right. We'll skip some stuff. So I want to be thorough in this, but I'm going to show you the exhibit work. Okay. This is the voluntary dismissal that she put in for the for the records requests. Exhibit 2. This is the hearing notes as they're they're talking about essentially getting, he does get his records, by the way. So for that, kind of interesting, huh? Exhibit 3. Now this is the clerk's judgment for one case. All right. With a lawyer, by the way. It's fed too. She puts this in as all separate cases. That's what Exhibit 4 is. It's the recommendations, not the decision. It was the recommendations, but hey. Which again, it's astounding because one of the rules, I'm skipping forward here. Exhibit 5. Okay. Exhibit 5 is the judgment with Dan Owens. Okay. Again, was he pro se? No. Exhibit 6 is the complaint against Bruce and LMNOP. This is amazing to read, by the way. Like, it's amazing they put this in. And I hope to God someone looks at this because, wow. And this is actually, this is some, again, the initial items with this have been referred over. Remember, Bruce is just set up complaining about it. So why is this in here? And with the argument, just because she's just adding shit in. I mean, if you're going to misrepresent one thing, why not misrepresent everything, right? I mean, it's crazy because again, she knows that this stuff does not fit in, but she puts in something that actually went badly for the people. This goes against her narrative. This doesn't even help her narrative. This goes against her garbage narrative. Like let's just say that her garbage narrative in some way had some ability to work. Well, how would this work into it? Like, riddle me that. I mean, again, it not only talks about everything that happened. This is a wild one too, by the way. The whole thing with the give me a second. The whole thing with Bruce writing. Not only does it have this in here, which again, I was shocked to see. It's like, why would you put this in there? But it talks about him not being licensed, that he's not pro hoc VJ. And on top of it, funny enough, one thing that it does, give me a second. I gotta skip down. I'm trying not to skip too far. Is this it? Oh, yeah. Look, she includes the motion to strike the unauthorized communications. So this, by the way, is something that Hales wins. So when she's adding all of this stuff in, she adds in a case that it's setting. But on top of it, she's added in something that Hales actually won too. So again, why would you do this? Good question. I mean, can you think, but besides being an idiot, I mean, I guess that is an answer. Besides being an idiot, I actually think it's to misinform the judge. Personally, I think it's way worse than someone being stupid. I think this stuff is done intentionally. All joking aside, I think that they think they can just sit around and lie about things and nobody will because it's happened. It's work. I mean, hell, look at all the freaking messed up stuff that they've done and gotten away with over time. I mean, we saw, or when they've been admonished, a lot of times it's been hidden. Again, this is the quality of work that was going through in those guardianship cases. Can you imagine again how desperate? See, one of the things like the Volpe article we talked about the other day. With by the way, that Volpe article is crazy. I was looking at what he accused that guy of. Okay, everything in it. Now, I want to encourage you to do something too. Okay, so Volpe, what we're talking about this. Volpe says that the police are looking in at him for essentially recording a conversation in a two-party consent state. He's like, well, I'm a journalist, therefore. Now, just a second, I hear a raider coming. I'll tell you about it in a second. What's up? What's up? What you doing? What'd you say? What'd you say?
Are you still on your live stream?
Yeah, I'm on my live stream. Hey, by the way,
hey everyone.
Hey, by the way, let's see. Can you say thank? Hey, can you say thank you to Rick?
Thank you, Rick. Hey,
he sent you candy money.
Thank you. But hey, everyone, have you played Poppy Playtime Chapter 3? And if you know all the characters in it, have you ever? How did you?
Hey, can you tell them about it for just a second? Here, I'll let you sit down for just a second, and I gotta go get something.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta grab something. So you can sit right here and just talk. You don't have to put the headphones on. Just talk to them. Okay.
Okay. Hey everyone, I've been playing Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 for a while, and have you ever played it? And if you have, how did you beat the Mr. Light Chase? Because I don't even know how to do that. Every time, and I keep looking at the same YouTube video, going to that same part, but yeah, but same for 4 and 5, because they're making 4 and 5 are tail switches. And how did you make? Hey, everyone, how did you beat the Mr. Light Chase? Did you do something good? How did you do it? Or did you ever play Poppy Playtime? If you didn't, say, let me see what you give me. Huh? A cute son. And son. Yeah, but if you have, tell me how did you beat the Mr. Light Chase? Do you know?
You've been beating it on your own.
Yeah, but I haven't been in this part for but I literally had
a lot of it on your own, haven't you?
Yeah, but I can't beat this Mr. Light Chase a lot. I keep doing it, and
we'll have to look at it.
It's a chase that you want.
Oh, it's a chase, huh? Oh man.
It's more of the chases that you don't like.
You just have to I hate chases.
Yeah, but you can look at her.
Ask Sissy if she tell Sissy I said to help you. Okay.
With the Mr. Light Chase?
Yes, tell her I said to help. Okay.
Okay, I'll tell her that so we can
Okay.
alive.
All right. Close my door. Money for bugs cleanings while she ran off. I'll tell her when she comes back. You know what's funny? So she's talking about those horror games, Poppy Playtime, where you're at an abandoned toy factory. I played a couple of those with the oldest when they came out. I kind of hate those games. Not because of the scares or anything. They're just because they had those insta-death chases. I don't like stuff like that. I don't like it where if I turn down the wrong hallway, I automatically die. Things like that. That really irritates me after a while. So I told her she's been saving her money though. She's been saving her money. Her and Sissy or me will run through them with her, But we've been letting her do it. I told her she has to learn how to control part of it, because we're not just going to pilot the game for her. We could watch it on YouTube like that. And interesting, I mean, some of her game skills are getting pretty good. There was an area I could not beat. I was like, man, I can't get past this. And she was like, I'll try. And then I I left her the Switch, the Nintendo Switch, and came back, and she had beaten it. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Yeah. Oh, that was amazing. I'll tell her with the other again. Denise, I had yours pulled up, and Seneca yours, but she had to go. She was like, I'm telling Sis now. She'll probably come back and tell on Sissy in just a second, I'm sure. She won't help me. But anyway, okay, back to this. So in this filing again, she quotes the action against Bruce, but also she quotes something that Hale's won. See, this is even stupider because he won this motion through here. Remember, the motion to strike unauthorized communication and for sanctions for unauthorized practice of law, that was 100% won. Yeah, instant death when you go down the wrong highway. Sounds like, yeah, for sure. Well, it's worse. Okay, they had this one part. Here, I'll say this real quick. They had this one part of the game, and I hated this part. You had to swing over. You have two arms. One of them is like a bungee cord, and the other one you can push things, and you hold a charge in it, right? When you'd hit they'd have these little outlets on a wall. You have to hit it with one arm, and they'd have these little charging towers. You have to touch them, and then touch an outlet. And you can hold a charge for 10 seconds after you touch this outlet. You got to swing across a pit, touch a door. One door opens. You have to run through it, touch another thing where there's a door that's open, then plug into something, go around two outlets, and hit a third thing. And for me, I was like, man, I haven't played games like that since, Ghosts and Goblins days or Dragon's Lair. I played Dragon's Lair recently again, and that game was a pain in the butt. I've forgotten how bad the old Dragon's Lair game was. I like it. It's cool, but man, it's a hard game. Talk about a quarter-eaten game. That game was hellishly hard. So I hate games like that. But she likes that game. I just I'll help her with some of it and go through. My Lord, I told her, if you want to play something, you can't count on other people to beat a game for it. You have to like perfect your skills and learn to do it yourself. And I mean, she's been getting good with some of these. It's kind of amazing to watch. So anyway, so back to this though. The said, I'm not sure if everybody remembers this. If you don't, for some reason, though, let's just say if you don't remember this for some reason, Bruce really misstepped here, and he's not just losing this one right now. He's afraid that it's going to have a real impact on him. Like that's if you look at Bruce's newest motions, he's not worried about being found guilty of this thing. He's worried that it comes with the potential to be punished. And if he's punished, he's afraid he's going to be, he burned a lot of goodwill out. You remember in the mac and cheese case, he spent a lot of time saying a lot of things that probably, let's just say he didn't make a lot of friends then. I mean, the reason they probably didn't crush him then is because typically a first-time offender, they get more than, you get a get out of jail free card, as it were. Not real jail, but you know what I mean. You get out of that mess one time, but a second time. So not only do you have this, the point in bringing that up is not only do you have this added, but it went really, really bad for Bruce. I mean, I look at this and like I said, I can't for the life of me figure out why you would add this in. It seems just stupid, but I mean, it's her. Oh, Lord. Let's see what else is here. I was shocked to see that one in here. You know what's funny in this too? If you look, what you'll find are the emails. Like this, she even included the emails. You know what made me laugh about this? That Vomit and Paint Chips. I was talking about them mail. I'll tell you this in a second. But remember when they did their fluff piece for Bruce, where they're talking about there being a conspiracy between the judge, his staff, and Randy Shockett, to basically to come after Bruce. Well, remember, they wouldn't put in all of the emails, right? Well, her in this thing that she thinks is going to help her, she actually puts the emails in. Oh my God. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, she did put the emails in. I can't believe this. Like it makes these people look awful. Because again, she put in this, she puts in protective order notification. I mean, it is something else. It is absolutely insane to think about, like her doing that. But yeah, she puts in like all the emails. You can see all that through here. There's a bunch. I mean, if the judge decides, hey, I feel like reading something, well, there's a whole freaking a whole bunch of them. Let's just say, oh man, this is no wonder it looks weird. It's blown up. I was like, that looks weird. What's going on? But I mean, she included them all. Everything. And the funny thing too is when she included that, you know what I really like? It reminded me of what he had mailed, because remember, he didn't just mail items, he mailed filings, like the here with the answers, defenses, and counterclaims. He ended up mailing that out. So like I said, this looks really horrible if a judge was like, yeah, I'm going to read through this and see what's here. Now, you got to make sure that you destroy her for this stuff, which, God, a hearing would be amazing on it. But she puts this all together, and when she files it, again, remember, she's demanding sanctions too. Let me get this sanctions thing. I think that's fun to put in this. Her sanctions demand. Oh my Lord. I mean, all of this is just surreal and stupid. And again, they look through this and they think, this is a good idea. Why would you believe Leslie anymore? Like honestly, I don't, for drama's sake, I suppose. Maybe these people, but otherwise. Oh, so I was talking about, Vomit, right? We talked about this yesterday, but I've really been looking into this because I'm very curious about it now. So Vomit gets a woman in trouble. He gets her put in jail because he leaks guardian ad litem documentation, which, if you don't understand, that deals with minor children. Okay, a lot of stuff that is protected in divorce courts because of children. That's why a lot of documents are not readily available. It's not to protect the adults that are in there, it's to protect minors. So the courts take it very seriously when that stuff comes up. So Vomit, what he does is he includes a portion of the guardian ad litem report, not all of it, but a portion of it, just like a paragraph of it. And he calls this guy. Now, he actually has the call uploaded too. And the call, it's wild because he calls this dude and he's like, I'm Michael Volpe. I'm an investigative journalist. And he starts asking questions about the guardian ad litem report. And when he does that, the dude he's calling is like, I don't think you're an investigative journalist. And Volpe's response is, I think I am. You know, like what? And then he starts making accusations. Now, the accusations are odd. The first one, what they've latched onto, I really want you to think about this, okay? The accusation is that the person he called watched, I'm going to say prawn, when there were kids in the house, not in the room, not close by, but somewhere in the house. Oh, wait, what? Now, regardless of what you think about adult material like that, that is not illegal, because you're not talking about, they add kids into, they're in the house. It's like, well, wait a minute. You're supposed to set him on the curb or something? I think he has, full-time custody. So if that's his thing, that'd be like saying you can't have relations if there's a kid somewhere. You've got to get rid of them. Set him outside on the curb. Does he read Paint Chip's letters, with all these horrible things that they talk about? Does he do live streams where they talk about this horrible shit when there's a kid in the home? Oh, my God. Again, like, it's strange. And then he goes to, after that, he's like, did you, with your kid? And the dude's like, I am not talking about this. Now, that's not an interview. Calling a person and saying, yo, I'm an investigative reporter and I'm going to accuse you of a bunch of shit. That is not an interview. That is definitely not something that this person agreed to. All they did was pick up the phone, So as far as that's concerned, and again, they live in a 2-party consent state. So Volmet is claiming that he is a journalist and he can just do that. He can call up whomever. He can, the person can say, yo, you can tell it's not a consensual thing because he's telling them, he tells them, well, I've got the Guardian ad litem report in front of me and it says blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, I guess you have to refer to that. But what's wild is Volmet says that he did not get it from the woman he was writing the articles about. And yet, interestingly enough, not only did he publish this stuff, but from the way it reads, again, I'm just going by what I read from Volmet, so you take that as it will. It sounded like someone, not just her and him, Volmet, but also someone else. A relation of hers was forced to take that stuff down too. And the lawyer had to step down. The lawyer asked to be removed from the case or dismissed off of it. So in that wonderful little spree there, Volmet does something that might get him put in, well, it might get him in trouble. I won't say put him in jail. Jesus. He probably get a good slap on his bald head. And be told that it would be interesting though. I think that person could definitely nail him for harassment though, for just calling them up, and that's their MO. They just call people, accuse them of horrendous things, and then write out how write it out. These accusations, again, people are paying them for these type of things. I mean, they advertise this, that they do this. So they're like, and then Volmet, amazingly, after he gets this woman put in jail on Mother's Day, he gets her jailed for 3 days because he puts this in there. He has the audacity to come back and be like, you know what? I'm going to ask for I'm going to ask for $18,000. I mean, imagine that. Like the sheer audacity of that. Can you imagine doing that? Like coming in and saying, "Oh well, you know, my screw up. I need 18 grand." Now, you know what he needs 18 grand for, by the way? To fight the monster of a system. He's going to fight the system for you. Isn't that bizarre? But he put up a fundraiser for 18,000. Oh man, hey, before we look at this, let's look at his fundraiser and see how it's doing. You know, we helped him out the other night. You know, because I didn't think he could do it on his own. But let's see, maybe I was wrong. Right? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe he's amazing. Let's check it out. Give me 1 second here. Now, I've not refreshed this since the other night, so we'll refresh it together. Let's see what's happened. So the other night, it may have auto-refreshed, actually. I don't know, because the hours of the days have ticked down, so that may be newer, actually. I haven't refreshed it, but it may have auto-refreshed itself. Let's check. Yeah, it has. That's so sad. I wonder what $3. If you've missed out on this amazing fundraiser, look at this. Oh, look. There was a sock puppet that gave $1, a speaking spell that gave $1, and there was Tab Guy that gave $1. The initial $1 there. I heard 1 is the loneliest number, but 0 is freaking sad. Here's $1, baby. Share 50 cents with your partner-in-law. Very professional. The Fats were complaining. Oh, that was the other thing I couldn't remember. They were whining about Megan and myself writing to paint chips. They left out everything about how Volmont got this woman put him. You don't have to take my again. If you're looking at this, don't take my word for it. Go read his article on it. He talks about it because he leaked a confidential document, a paragraph. He didn't leak the whole thing. He leaks a paragraph because that's what he does. He only takes snippets from something when he should show you the whole thing. But he leaks that and he gets her jailed. And then he whines. He's like, well, usually you don't get people. They don't jail people for this. Oh my God. It's a protected document. It's protected because of minors. You know, he's like, well, it's protecting this person. No, it protects minors. That's why they don't have them in the public. Said there were documents with my divorce. There were documents there that were not for public consumption because they talked about my minor children. And if somebody leaked them, I mean, Volmont is lucky some of these people are not vindictive. Because, man, I mean, what a mess. But it definitely can do harm to a minor because it attaches it. You may not know the minor's name, but you definitely know their parents' names and stuff. So they're talking about this minor child and stuff that I don't trust the accuracy of anything Volmont puts out. If his accuracy is like his accuracy on most other stuff, holy God. That's a scary thought, right? So, oh my Lord. It's just a frightening idea. Could you imagine Volmont being your God, could you imagine paying Volmont to put out an article for you? Oh my God. Anyway, let's go back to that other. It just amazes me when I hear that people do. Actually, I understand why. People feel very desperate. They're cornered. They're alone. They feel like they're losing. You may not be losing, but you still feel like you're losing. I get it. You know, anybody that's been in that situation or seen that, they understand the why. And a lot of these people that we've seen, they prey on those folks. They prey on them with booklets where they promise some easy way to, to go in and they promise some, well, we've done this before. You know, they tell people that they're My favorite stuff talks about how somebody's, they're retired, therefore they know about this. Now, they don't tell you why they're retired, They don't tell you why they were put out to pasture. They just make it sound like, oh, they retired. They retired in good grace. Everything was gravy, baby. It just amazes me when I see it. But here is her, again, she asks for sanctions. All right. Out of everything you just saw there. Now we're asking that she, again, be labeled a vexatious litigant. And that's just a piece of it. Again, we will go in and we will, when we get to it, amend our complaint. Oh, we damn well will. Because like I said, I'm damn well putting that freaking allegations that she made for myself. Oh, I damn well am putting those in. Because there is no way someone is going to know. They're going to put that on my name and I have them in court. See, I've never been able to attach a person to it. And, the funny thing is, it's the same thing that 2L thinks they're going to use as an excuse. Well, I read it somewhere. Well, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Anything can be written online by some anonymous douchebag. That doesn't mean you get to repeat and try to ruin people's lives with it. And typically you don't take people to court with that kind of stuff. But since we're already there, that's why, like most people, they talk about, hey, when people do this, why not take them to court? Well, you've seen how much court costs. I mean, court is an expensive beast. And you also, you're put at the discretion of judges and everything anyway. But for this, I mean, the first step in this is making sure, like, Lips has been doing this to people for a while now. She has been able to run over people in litigation. She's been able to file things, to then remove them. And most people, they're just glad to be done with it. They don't take these folks to task because they're like, okay, well, at least that's over. And I mean, I really don't blame them either. Most people just want to be done with it. So they get to continue with it over and over. And some folks, I mean, they have drug it out for a while. Like Leslie did, the point in doing that isn't just to put it on record either. Like when she said, I do that to put it on record. Well, it's also, it's to worry people, it's to scare them. I mean, that is a major consideration, and that 100% should be stopped. You shouldn't, be able to file garbage lawsuits just because you don't like that people, they talk about who you are or what you do. I mean, hell, some of the things that she's, some of her garbage lawsuits include going after the bar, going after clients, going after people she's worked with, going after family, So for her to come back and again try to play this game, I think I'm going to get me some money out of it. Yeah, fuck that. And what's worse, like I said, what's worse is a lot of the people that watch, they don't. I'm shocked. Like I was shocked when Tammy J, when she was still not yet popped up on Jay's show. She didn't know who Paint Chips really was. She'd never bothered looking. And I mean, I get it. Again, that's not a shot, by the way. I'm just saying it shocks me sometimes when we've talked about this repeatedly. And I mean, this is a guy who threatened to end his ex. because he thought she was talking to the Fed. It's a guy who stole a lot of money, who set up a blind man to be a fall guy and a patsy, who created false accounts and was they talked about him trying to interfere with election. He ended up getting convicted on, I can't remember what the conviction itself for that is. I can't remember what the actual conviction itself is. But that's in addition to all the other stuff that happened too. It's just crazy. But I'm shocked people still take these folks' advice. They don't look up who they are. Or worse, they don't care. I mean, again, can people have a past? Sure, but my God, like, what kind of a past do you need before you're like, well, maybe this is sketchy a bit. Maybe these folks they have a point in saying something about it. So anyway, the sanction stuff should come now. Bind through undersigned counsel pursuant to 57.105 Florida statute. Request the court sanction each plaintiff and Randall Shochet. Randall, shock it. Shock it. They should put it shock IT. For bringing forth a motion to declare vexatious litigant filed on 8/10/2025. Isn't that a while, by the way? Isn't it crazy how long we've had to wait with this? This is also a move to try to intimidate people too. I mean, again, it's not the filing that amazes me. It's the idiots that celebrate them like it's a win. I put in here, we're winning. I mean, look at that. How in the world, they were like, we're losing and getting sanctioned. What? No, I think we're winning. I think when you copy paste and you ask for money, wow, that doesn't mean much, What means something is if you have any leverage behind it. So the case arises out of plaintiff's misuse of litigation and online platforms to harass, intimidate, and defame the defendant, Leslie Federicos. The plaintiffs, leveraging their substantial online following, have engaged in a pattern of conduct designed to exploit the legal system for personal and financial gain. By the way, if you like this content and you like this and would like to help with some financial gain, consider Yo Breadsticks. That's a good transition, don't you think? That's pretty good. If you'd like to help out with financial gain, that's funny. Oh, Lord. I love these Sunday streams. I do. I noticed like over 1,500 people managed to find today. Again, that's absolutely awesome. Man, if over 1,000 people find me on the weekend, I'm stunned every day when it happens. But Sundays are the worst because it's really hard to actually it's a day like wide open. It's also a holiday, by the way. Happy Memorial Day holiday here. So also I should put that out there. But financial gain, including the publication and monetization of ongoing legal disputes on YouTube. This right here made me laugh. The idea that I cannot publish legal disputes. Are you kidding me? I have every right to publish a legal dispute. I mean, it's amazing. That was the way that she was going to work her proverbial magic on us, right? She was going to give them something to talk about. They were all excited about it too. That's another thing that people like 2L should ask. Why didn't these people actually go through? You know, they tell the public, oh, these people are so mean, they're harassers, but that's just their excuse. Why did they really not do something? It's because they know that it's just like with Leslie and normal stuff. She knows that if she takes any of this stuff to court, typically, she's got a problem. I mean, here we've taken her to court, so she's got to do something. But typically, she has a real problem. That's because her actions typically, she's definitely has stuff against her that is actionable. And her whole excuse, again, her excuse of why she should get sanctions is because she pretends like, again, does this have anything to do with what she's accused of? No. She just says, actually, this is harassment. Now, why are we going and filing something? Because she filed lawsuits against us. So for her to say that this is people that are publishing and monetizing legal disputes, actually she did that and then dropped it. I mean, the stupid too. I always love to just the misleading way that this comes together. Defendant Leslie Federico's a retired state and federal trial and appellate attorney. I'd love to see their win-losses, by the way. I'd love to be able to see every one of their cases. I bet that would be golden. Because like I said, a lot of cases that they deal with minors. That's the catch that many of these people use. That's why I don't like a lot of guardianship lawyers, because they can hide behind a wall and they can lie to you about win-losses. They can make empty promises to people that, again, are just so desperate. I had a friend that that he didn't. Now, it wasn't these people, but it's people like this that they put together that you can file certain things on your own. You can do this or you can do that in court. And when they tried it, because Lips copies and pasted, she used a paid lawyer's work. Can they bill her? Well, I wonder about with sanctioning again. We'll see. I don't put faith in court until they do something, just to be honest. It's definitely possible to go after her for not necessarily copying your homework, but for lying to the court. Because when she did that, she lied to the court. She said that Jeremy Hales had filed pro se. Her whole argument, see, she can't go. Somebody was like, well, she can go and refile that, try to correct the issues. Well, the problem is her whole filing is an issue. So in order for her to go and try to correct it, she has to take apart the entire thing. Good luck with that. I mean, it's all the whole thing is an allegation about something that's trash. It's an absolute trash filing. So, typically I'd be like, well, maybe they'll go back and rework it. But how do you rework that one? Like, I'm curious about how you would go and rework, because again, if you add in the missing components, the pro se, you just have to take it off the record, which no. So she has never pursued, she says, meritless litigation and has only sought judicial intervention when justice by evidence and the law. Now that's funny. Like I said, if you go over to Facebook, you can find it real simple. If you go over to my ThATuMBRELLAgUY account, you can find it real simple. Just go over to Reels and you'll see her face there. I play it here, but she tried to hit it. But she brags about, she says She says, I've done things before where I've had people say things about me. I'm quoting her. And what I've done is I filed a lawsuit and then I withdrew it. Yeah. I filed it to get it on the record. Just because it becomes public record at that point. So, you know, if I'm being defamed or something, I can file it just enough to, if you look my name up, you can see whatever, and then I withdraw it because I don't want to go through the court system. That's her statement. I just listened to verbatim where she talks about it. You can look at it with her making that statement again. Just go over to my Facebook. I play it here, but like I said, these people, you know, it's not they won't win an argument over false flagging with that, but not being able to having them hit your stream for it if it works is just not worth it. So no thanks. But I mean, you see right there, she's admitting that she files stuff, and then she just puts it on record and then withdraws because she doesn't want to go through that. That right there is flagrant misuse of the system. You know, flagrant use of it. Do I use Telegram? I don't know. I don't know if I use Telegram. I have an account on something out there. I can't remember. Maybe it's Telegram or Signal. I'm not sure. I don't remember which one. I just can't remember. You know? I don't typically use those, so having an account, I've got an account with one, and you know, that way sometimes a source or something will want to talk to you, but they don't want to email. So I talk to them like that, but I don't know if I don't know which one is which. You know, just to say, I don't use them very often. But sometimes you'll get like a source in a case or something that wants you to, you know, talk to them about X, Y, or Z, and they want to be way off the record. So yeah, I mean, every now and then, I try to provide that because you see how malicious some of these folks are. I saw somebody today too that was talking about, if you ignore some of these people, they'll go away. And for some of you, that might work. You know, if you're just watching a case, yeah, sure. Unless you want to, you know, you don't have to argue or fight with these people. But you notice they don't really go away because their entire business strategy revolves around, if not Hales, then other people. I mean, honestly, where they've been hyper fixating on myself and Megan, you notice they've been leaving Hales alone a little more. Last night, they barely brought Hales up. You know? But there has to be something they fixate on otherwise. I wish that worked. I do. Like, typically, that can be a strategy, but I found that for the crazier people out there, it just doesn't work. And it's sad. So let's see. I got to go back to the document. So she says she's never pursued meritless litigation and has only sought judicial intervention when justified by evidence in the law. The present action is not the result of vexatious or frivolous litigation by the defendant, but rather a necessary response to the relentless harassment and public attacks orchestrated by the plaintiffs. So she's telling us here that she did file stuff, but it doesn't matter because The record demonstrates that all legal filings by defendant Federigos, whether resolved by voluntary dismissal or for legitimate procedural reasons, with no case ever dismissed on its merits. Again, her excuse is, I can do whatever the fuck I want in filing as long as I can even take it to a certain level. I can get it dismissed for procedural issues. You know, with procedural issues, by the way, remember that's stuff like, you were supposed to serve people, but you let the clock run out. So they're sitting around. They may have potentially hired a lawyer, whatever. But she's like, well, it never made it to the judge. Therefore, I mean, that's a terrible excuse when you think about it. Because again, it's not just money. I mean, that stuff definitely matters, but it isn't just that. You also have the stress of people, again, harassing the living hell out of you. I mean, she talks about people harassing her, but the reality is she was harassing people from go when she came into this thing. You know, I mean, she promised lawsuits. In fact, they seemed very angry, I suppose, when they didn't get the lawsuits they thought they were going to. They seemed very angry with her. And it's funny because she herself talked about how much she hated vomit. I mean, she talked about how essentially he had betrayed her and all this other stuff. So I get the feeling that it's kind of mutual there. They do not. There's a mutual disdain. Understandably, again, I don't know when it comes down to it, I don't know which one I dislike more. I don't know if I have to pick a party because they're both pretty awful. But, I mean, they are there. But for her to say, oh, you know, I did this stuff because people were harassing me. No, what you do if you think you have a legitimate case is you pursue it. You don't just file something and then dismiss it. I mean, her excuses are such trash. And again, that's only in this case. Like, how many other cases has she done this in? Well, quite a few, actually. You know, it'll be real fun talking to a judge about how she did this to her own parents. You know, I mean, it's hard to imagine. Oh, your own parent. Oh, people who worked with you. Oh, the bar. Okay. You know, after a certain point, the argument that everything I do is valid seems to fall by the wayside. Like I said, procedural issues, that includes not serving people. Jay, shouldn't you be sleeping? Yeah, Jay, why are you awake? Shouldn't you be asleep, boy? Hey, Jay, go and check out that vomit freaking article. You'll love it. Go and check out vomit. It's not his newest article. It's like a few days back now. You need to check it out, Jay. Because he's such a great reporter that the woman he was reporting on, he put her right in jail. And he did it. He leaked a document and she got sent to jail for it. And his response is, well, normally people don't get sent to jail for that. Oh my God, Jay, you'll love it. You'll love it. Oh my God. I mean, that's an action news item. You really need it. I do like laughing at these idiots. It's funny. The antis were pretending that like vomit and freaking paint chips are somehow victims of mean old Megan Fox. Oh my God. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. The internet tough guys. Megan Fox is, I mean, how's that help your reputation? I mean, you're like, yeah, Megan Fox, she owned me. She said mean words to me. They were whining about her mean words and letters. I'm like, my God, this dude sends like modified pictures of her and pretty nasty. Again, the women that agree with that stuff, I wonder if they'd agree if it was done to them, you know, where they have something sexual put together with images of them. I imagine, like I said, if they were done to any of the people out there, I'm not going to name specific ones because they're always like, oh my God, they said they're going to do this thing. It's terrible. And it's like, damn right. It is bad, isn't it? It is bad. You know, it's terrible. That's at least good that you understand, but only if it's aimed at them. You know, it's kind of like the Ray strategy. Oh my God, they said they'd do this thing, you know, that I said was a freedom of speech when it was done to them. It's terrible. Terrible. Anyway, so the record demonstrates that all legal filings by defendant Federico's were either resolved by voluntary dismissal or for legitimate procedural reasons with no case ever dismissed. No case ever also... No case ever won on its merits either. Isn't that amazing? The following statements, facts, and so let's look at the background. Plaintiffs are YouTubers with channels with viewers over 730,000. She's so fucking lazy that she copies and pastes Jeremy Hill's number. She doesn't include, I mean, it'd be well over 1 million is what that gets you if you're going to do combined numbers. But she doesn't do a combined number. She just sees where Hales has talked about how much he has. And she's like, oh, yeah, there we go. That sounds good. Oh, my God, Leslie. Lordy. Maybe she should hire just J Bean. You know, maybe he's a lawyer. Oh, wait, there's conflict of interest. I don't know. Maybe he's a good enough lawyer you can get around that. You know? Maybe he doesn't care. He's like, I'll practice anyway. I mean, she's out there pro saying, man. You know, you could put Savior of Muppets on your resume. 7:30. Plaintiff defended Jeremy Hale. Plaintiff, I'm going to get it right in a minute. Jeremy Hales, I kept adding defended again, has engaged in excessive and ongoing litigation against voluminous defendants. It sounds like some really fat defendants, doesn't it? They're voluminous. It does. It sounds like some, I mean, there are some big ones too. I mean, that is true. But it does. It sounds more like, man, there's some fat defendants. Oh, Lord. I'm telling you. These cases are so funny. I can't believe that idiot is still sitting out there yelling. They're going to sue Megan Fox, by the way. I'm going to sue her over copyright. She showed some of my stuff. And then you look and she's got the video of hers. Right there on her channel. What an idiot. Oh, Lord. But let's see. Where he used these cases for content, where he collects monetary donations, claiming to be a victim. Well, that's interesting considering he has indeed, you know, it's funny. The ones that he wins are the ones that that the other sides file. You know, that's the ones he's been able to win so far. The other ones he hasn't been able to actually move forward with, and most of it, you know, like Fed 1, Lord, the first big case to come together. But the ones he's actually had more victory with is anything the other side has done as an answer to anything he's done. So isn't that funny? So, yeah, I think in claiming to be a victim, it definitely, again, he had a protective order and everything else. No matter what, I have no idea what's up with the protective order going on right now? Again, the thing can just sit until it's litigated. Then it's all gravy, baby. But I haven't seen an update to it or anything. It does need an update, Lord, because these people, they've gotten very, especially John Cook. John Cook has gotten very crazy. You know, Hales doesn't even talk about these weirdos anymore. And yet they still try to find ways to bother him. It's kind of amazing to watch. They think they have some kind of ownership of him. But defendant Leslie Federicos, while represented by counsel, filed a lawsuit against plaintiffs after they targeted her for content and defamed her. While represented by counsel. Did you not file some pro se garbage? Leslie Federicos. She's like, I actually had counsel. Wait a minute, are you saying counsel matters? That's really weird. She's trying to say now that counsel matters. Isn't that strange? She's also trying to say that she never filed anything pro se. But I thought pro se didn't matter. That's what I got from her filings. You know, I do whatever I want. Unless I'm Jeremy Hales, then I can't do anything. Then I have rules. These people, man. But, however, she voluntarily dismissed the lawsuit without prejudice after being threatened, extorted, and encountered continual harassment where the plaintiff used her lawsuit for content for monetary gain. You know what she says is threats and extortion. If she talks about contact with Randy, when Randy told her, hey, you want to get out of this thing? Roll on these other people. You give us these people and you're good to go. Now, it's funny. She tried to serve them up when she was supposedly working to get more information. Oh, she served them up nice and fine with some stuff there. But with this, it was funny because at first she played the whole, oh yeah, I'm in contact. I'll give you this or that or the other. But essentially, I need to get more stuff. So, I mean, you saw how she is crazy. I mean, she is such a mess. She is such a nut. Plaintiff now attempts to deem Leslie Federicos a vexatious litigant on past cases. Leslie Federicos chose to drop due to resolution between family members or inability to serve a party. Or inability to serve. Again, that's what she's talking about. Like she said up here, when I told you that she said it'd never been that procedural reasons had caused it. Again, she didn't serve people. She would just take it out so far. And then after that, she just let it go. At no time, she says, has Leslie Federicos ever had a case dismissed on the merits found by any courts. It amazes me when I see these people, like I said, in the game they play. Because the game they play is, well, no court has ever done this to me. They've never said that, I file blah. Wait just a second. I actually have a list. Would you like a list of her stuff? Give me a second. I'll send it over. We can look at some of her wonderful filings. We can look at some of the insanity. And God knows how much more is out there, too. Give me 1 minute. I'm sending stuff over to myself. I'm all out of love. No, I've got that in my head. I'm all out of love. Oh. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm mailing this over to myself. Somebody sent me something I was looking at. I was like, I swear Leslie has I'm sure she has a bunch of people that definitely don't appreciate the way that she treated them. That's the problem. When you leave wreckage everywhere, like Leslie did. It's taking a minute to come through. There it is. Second, I'm downloading this. Yep, there we go. All right. The beautiful thing is that we do have lists of some of her stuff. Some of it. And it's one heck of a show. You know, you can see just some of the mess that she left behind. So check this out, folks. Give me 1 second. Pull this up for you. Here. And look at these. You know, her. I mean, look at who she's. Again, what amazed me is she was giving marriage advice while her and her lawyer husband were out there spreading nasty rumors about myself. They were trying to use that to give marriage advice. And meanwhile, you look at what has been claimed. These are her claims about him. You can see, and we've actually seen some of the we've seen some of the documentation that goes with some of this too. But you can see alone right here, she had 3 where she claimed here, and this one she claimed DV, you know, with children there. She had voluntary dismissal, dissolution of marriage with children, dismissal. Here's another one, dissolution of marriage with children, dismissal. You know, she tried 3 times alone. She went after him. She's like, I'm going to divorce you. No, I'm going to divorce. I mean, she accused him of some. That's pretty heinous to have on you. And she has made songs about him being an abuser. So these people, again, it amazes me because the ecosystem, they're very happy to have frauds and criminals, horrible people. And either he is the thing that she says, or she's lying. And either way, one of them's a problem. But they just sat around and pretended everything was hunky-dory. You know, like it's just normal. It's normal for people to accuse each other of horrendous things. And that's essentially what they went with, too. When talked about, she essentially was saying, well, you know, things happen, you know, when you're mad. It's like, no, false accusations, that's not a good thing. If that's what you're saying, it's either if DV happened, that's terrible. But I mean, they held it out like they were the best thing since sliced bread. And they're just, it's crazy. They have, I mean, look at this mess. Look at all the mess in it. Look at all of it. Ugh. I mean, again, by itself, she went after ABC Legal Service, dismissed. She went after Hale's Accept, dismissed. She went after again, second time, dismissed. Motion to dismiss, dismissed. She go with other ones. She goes with dismissal, voluntary dismissal. Here's the other DV with kids. Reclosed again. I mean, just look at that. So when they're like, oh, we haven't done anything, we've never gone after anybody. You're kidding me. And she doesn't say that. Actually, what she says is, I've never had anything decided against me on its merits. That's not what the courts are supposed to be for, by the way. They're not supposed to be a posting board where it's essentially she's telling you I misuse the courts. You know, this is my defamation blackboard. And that, I mean, to me, that's a scary statement, because she's saying that anybody that looks up her name, they'll see whoever that she filed. So she's telling the world in that case that anybody, if they look up her name, that they'll find my name, which she made sure to use my actual name attached to that. When she also made, like I said, horrendous fucking claims, she attached them boldface to my name. And she's already made it. What's funny is, again, you know, a lot of people offered, they offered her a settlement option. Hey, you give up blah, blah, blah. But she thought it was a joke. She thought it was a joke as in we wouldn't go for. Not as a joke as in, ha ha ha, fuck y'all. No. She thought it was a joke as in nobody would actually come after her. I love that, by the way. I love the fact that she got that bold face about it. By the way, you know why? The reason she filed this, just to note, she filed it because they started talking about a hearing. Yes. See, right now we are on the cusp of a hearing. That freaked Leslie out, because we're looking down the barrel of a proverbial hearing. And if that's granted, we'll be talking about her being a vexatious litigant. So what she did is she tried to file, essentially, for a defense of her actions. She tried to file a, I know you are, but what am I? You know, actually, you're the one that's this thing. That was her defense. But she knows that there's a hearing coming, and she knows that she's not in a great place with it. You know? So that's why, looking at, because finally, you got to remember too, civil court, oh, it's slow. You know, people think if nothing's happened that there is something wrong, but that's not necessarily the case. What could be happening is that you could just be moving at a snail's pace along, waiting for your time at the docket. I mean, it's that bad sometimes that you just have to sit and literally wait for what feels like forever, hoping that they'll finally get you on the docket. I hate that, by the way. I think that's insane. You know, you should never have to wait over a year to see something come up. I mean, this case is not docketed until next year. So, but so this is her explanation, filed her original lawsuit after being repeatedly defamed and harassed on plaintiff's YouTube channels and after sending out cease and desist letters. Through her counsel, subsequently amended the complaint without leave of court on May 27, 2025, prior to any party being served, and then filed a motion for leave to amend a second time. As the defendant's voluntary dismissal of the case, the court had not ruled on the motion for leave to amend. Two of the plaintiffs in this case were never served, Megan and myself, in any lawsuit by either of the defendants, including the case here. Yeah, I'd love to have my day to talk about you. Again, I got a lot to say. I do. I got a lot to say. Oh, I think I got some of the little babies' butt hurt out there. You can always tell when they get butt hurt. Especially, I like it when Paint Chips gets butt hurt and he won't go on. He has to go on sock accounts because he's such a coward. He's like, he has to rage quit any direct contact and then go on his sock account and be like, oh, I'm such a tough guy. You know, he'll threaten you and tell you you need a Glock under your pillow because his mob buddies will come and get you. But he is such a weak, pathetic little man. It's funny. Megan Fox rolled him, and that was hilarious. So he got Lisa to sit around and cry for him instead of freaking taking Megan Fox on. She's so mean. Oh my goodness. She said mean words to Big Bad Paint Chips. Oh my God. What a weak little man. That's embarrassing, dude. I mean, Megan was definitely tearing into him. He's like, I can't take it anymore. You notice the tagging circle too. First it was Vomit tags in Paint Chips. And then Paint Chips has to tag into Hale to fight his fights. What a weak little man. Man, it's such a freaking sad little man. She said mean things to him. I thought everything went, buddy. I thought you said everything was satire and parody. What a weak little guy. I swear. God. I mean, I love it when they pound on their chests and act like somebody. He sends out all this nasty stuff to Megan. And boy, when she claps back, it hurts his feels, I guess. Ain't she freaking... She must have really hurt his feels. It's what's really funny is they haven't even figured out the worst part of the stuff they've done yet. And I ain't talking about to any of us. I'm talking about with something else. They'll figure it out soon enough, I guess. Kind of amazing though. But anyway, so the three remaining there, Hales, Elephant Shoe LLC, and George, never responded to or answered the original complaint, the amended complaint, or subsequent motion for leave to amend. The only filing filed was notice of appearance and acceptance of service. After the defendants filed their lawsuit, everybody there made written and verbal threats against Ferderigo's. They published non-public information on these channels. Yeah, I like how she always pretends that public. It's just like these other idiots do. They pretend that items that were publicly out there somehow aren't public anymore. I'll tell you too, if you're sitting around threatening people and you've threatened people, I'm definitely going to talk about that. And if you're talking about the videos, she kept saying that the videos that she had published, the one she apparently is embarrassed by these days, but she definitely wasn't embarrassed by at the time. Those are somehow not public. It's such a strange, like I said, a strange tale that they tell, because they pretend that documents or items that they have put up that they were totally happy to have out there when they were trying to raise money on it, or they were trying to show it off. It's bad when more people find it. I remember them pulling the same thing when we found the dog mask thing. You know, we didn't put that in public. Hell, I didn't even really want to see it. But I mean, it is what it is, I suppose. Oh, Lord. So they, with the intent to harass and continue to defame, after Leslie Rodriguez filed her lawsuit, the harassing publications escalated following the lawsuit's filing. Additionally, all plaintiffs publicized the lawsuit filed by defendants against them during their live. Hell yeah, we publicize. We are 100% allowed to. I am 110% allowed to publicize any lawsuit some moron tries to hold against me. I don't have to quiver and cower in a corner just because that's what they want from me. And that is, let's make no mistake, that's exactly what they want from all of us. They want us to be scared. They want us hiding in the corner and pretending that, you know, we can't talk, we can't do anything or else. That's the same thing that they demanded in cease and desist. They demand that you set aside all rights. No way. Nobody's going to put together a garbage lawsuit and threaten me and me roll up in a corner. Fuck that. It's just amazing to say them again. They think that they have the ability to step up to harass and intimidate you. And they don't. These broadcasts contain false depictions of events. Yeah. Have you ever read her freaking timeline? I like how she's like, oh, all that stuff is false. You notice, too, she had a lawsuit. She could have taken a lawsuit forward. You want to know the reality of why she doesn't take a lawsuit forward? Because she doesn't have money. Even if you write all of your garbage filings, first of all, she had nothing she could win with. She could have delayed the inevitable and cost somebody a little bit of money. But ultimately, it's just like any of these people. Ultimately, they're going to end up eating costs. And they cannot afford to do that. She knows that. That's why she doesn't have anything that could be meritorious. And she knows it. Ultimately, if she had a case, she would file and keep it. That's sprawling over. I mean, it's so insane to look at. You notice the antis didn't even read that thing? They would talk about it existing, but they wouldn't even read the damn thing. Why? Because it's insane. It comes off as absolutely freaking mentally touched. They use somebody with obvious mental problems. But the plaintiffs all took initiative, publishing the defendant's lawsuit in front of audiences of over 730,000 subscribers the day it was filed. Hell to the yeah. And if you enjoy, as we publish these things, and the responses that idiots have to whatever we do, then make sure to say that in your backing. Make sure they see it. Make sure. Oh, it's so fun. I love it. They get real butthurt. You know why certain people like Pain Chips and Bullmint get butthurt? Because ultimately they do all these horrible things for $1 and or $3 the other day, as it were. They get mad because they think of themselves as the big bad bullies, and people laugh at them, and they make more money than them. I think it makes them really mad. It's kind of beautiful. And any action taking judicial notice of such lawsuit was done secondarily to the publications of the lawsuit done by all plaintiffs on their own initiative. Additionally, only Jeremy Hales was a party in a federal case where the complaint was filed as a notice. No other party was a named party in such a complaint. What does that even mean? What the fuck is she trying to say here? It's just a mess. On January 17, 2025, Randy Shockett contacted the defendant and made verbal threats demanding the defendants turn over communication to third parties by meeting with him and his client, Jeremy Hale. They sought third-party communications between Federigos and the named defendants in another case in which Hales and Elephant Shoe LLC are parties. Due to the intimidating threats, harassment, and refusal to turn over the communications, she voluntarily dismissed her lawsuit. How does that even make sense? Due to not doing what I was asked, I voluntarily. Does that make any sense at all? She makes it sound like at first she's going to say that that something was given, therefore. She then says, oh, well, I took measures to block all contact and communication with him. However, shortly after that, this was filed. It's now being used in content on their YouTube channels weekly to gift donations. If you'd like to gain some donations, by the way, for the channel, think about it. And profit, yes, if you'd like to see us in profit as well. So she goes through this legal standard. All right, the legal standard is absolute trash. You know why? Because under this, look, she copied and pasted the whole legal standard. It's not just a portion that, again, it actually applies to her. That's what you do, by the way. You know, you don't make a judge go fishing. But she's like, okay, well, here's the whole standard, including all this stuff that doesn't apply to me. Therefore, the defendant does not meet the criteria for vexatious litigant. Again, you look at the criteria. Oh, yeah. We'll see. Again, we'll get to have our argument, and it'll be fine. I don't think she'll enjoy it, but I think we will. I think we'll actually have fun with it. It's so crazy, though, is that all of this stuff that she has done, and she thinks it's okay. She thinks legally her doing what she's done. And you know what is telling? She's been wrong before. She's been very wrong. Maybe that should be the question that, again, when these people, they all get together, maybe they should ask themselves, if these people were just so on the ball all the time, then why are certain ones not lawyers anymore? Why did other ones go to jail? Like, what's the problem? But they don't ask those questions, do they? Because if they actually ask those questions, then they probably get an answer they don't like. That's probably part of it, you know? They find out, wait a minute, I'm an idiot for listening to these folks. I mean, that's the key in it. You know, I've been told some really stupid things by some of these people in emails and more, you know, with their demands or this or that. It's amazing some of the things that they'll blather out. And, you know, they've told other people before in an attempt to intimidate them. Yeah. Like, for example, them trying to tell you that essentially they can, if you don't answer one of their stupid sorted emails, that they can accuse you of being whatever. It's just amazing. You know, defamation law doesn't exist, and apparently you have to answer everything they do. It's just so stupid. But anyway, let's hit some super chats. We got plenty of time. Be good. Let's do it. I love it. All right. What's up, Watchdog? Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Great to see you, by the way. Love all you people coming out on the Sunday. I love it. Man. You know, some of this stuff, again, she will not take credit for everything that she's done. But again, we haven't even gotten into an amended complaint yet. The stuff that we filed, it's nothing compared to some of the stuff that she did after the fact. And she knows that. Watchdog, thank you for the 5 giftos there. Appreciate you. Also, Sister Sal dropped 10 giftos. Look at that. Aren't they beautiful when stacked together? Oh, they're so lovely. And on top of that, you have 5 more gifted memberships. Look at that. 20 right there. That's 20 people that were told, hey, you're part of this. We love you. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the message in it, you know? Oh, by the way, hey, what's up? That's awesome. Patricia, thanks for the 10 there. It's your 65th birthday. I see that. Hey, give me 1 second here. Let me get it hooked up here. I love it. I love birthdays. I love a birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Yeah.
From both of us to you. Happy birthday! May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday! We love to have you here. Happy birthday! Here's to another year.
Heck yeah. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Happy birthday, too. I hope you have had a great one, by the way. And if for some reason you're like, well, it was okay, then you get a do-over. Just remember that, you know. I love it. 9-pin, what's up? Thanks for the 11-12. I love it. I wish you and your kids a happy weekend. Well, thank you. I wish everyone a lovely, lovely holiday. Well, a weekday, I guess. It's an extended weekend. Happy Memorial Day. You know, love to everybody out there. Like I said, I hope everybody has a great one. And tomorrow we will be on the Megalodonus pose. It will be a good day for it too. You know, you'll have a day out, a day off. Can have fun with it. Palomopkis, thank you for the gifted membership there. Thank you for that. Appreciate you, my friend. Fallen Hero, thanks for the 5. I'm Lego Batman. There you go. That's beautiful. Lego Batman indeed. Love it. And Jane, hey Jane, thanks for the 2 there. Good to be here. Well, it's good to have you here as well. You know what? I'm proud to have everybody here. Glad you're here for sure. Thank you. Cynic noted, I figured you had a hybrid sponsorship / affiliate relationship, flat fee to talk about keto brains and a bonus based on how much you sold with your code. Yeah, you know, it's weird. They talked about, oh my God, they said something funny last night too. She was bragging about having done business, sit down at Johnny Depp's bar and did business with it. I was like, well, that's funny because I could tell you right now that you didn't make a lasting impression on anybody in his team. I'd love to see some proof of that one. Oh, Lord. But yeah, these people, I mean, they continually go out and what they do is they decide, and again, they don't care about truth. They wouldn't know the setup to a business, but they're just like, oh, I'm going to go after the business. I'm going to defame them. That's just all she does, man. It's like a defamation machine. So dumb. It's not even good at it, by the way. I mean, again, you know, some people are just flagrant in their stupidity. Cynic, thanks. So here, the bozos made an assumption and sold it as fact. Yes, and they do that a lot. You know, again, they don't care if they don't care about the truth of it. They package things up and pretend that it's the truth. What's funny is Megan told them the truth. She posted it, and they still ran with something that they were told was false. So this just shows you, You know, Cynic, thanks for the 2. You should at least get an Amazon affiliate link. Oh yeah, anything like that. That's different. Okay, so if I'm on YouTube and I'm talking about a product or something, I can put out an Amazon affiliate link like that. You know, that's fine. That's not. I don't even know. Like in that process, that would be something different. I just, like most companies, I won't, if I have to sit down and talk about a company for something, like for an affiliate link, no, you know, like most times, if I'm doing a review of something, that would be different, you know? Like if I'm going in and I find a product and I'm like, hey, you should pick up this product because blah, 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 blah. Then yeah, if I put a link to Amazon, you can create an affiliate link that way. I never really thought about that because that's not even really direct with the way Amazon used to do that stuff too. Like if they even if they sent you a free sample, they did it, you know, back in the day. I haven't done that with an Amazon in forever. I did that way back in the day when that fine was new, before they put the threshold on it. You know, nowadays, if you get over what they say is worth $600, it goes against taxes. And I was like, forget that. Rick, thanks for the 5 there. Also, thank you for the candy fund there. Denise, thank you for the 5 and for the candy fund. I figured she'd come marching back, but she must have crashed. Oh, the girls started playing games together. That's the other one there. Leg warmer lady, what's up? Leg warmer lady, I hope you're doing great. It's good to see you. Thanks for the 10 there for the girls. Well, thank you very much there too. Cynic, thanks for the 2. Anyone with half a brain, that doesn't include Leslie. Yeah, I get that feeling after copying and pasting page 2 of 7. You know, I don't feel good for some of these people. You know what I mean? It's just like, wow. The Bohemian Booksmith, thanks for the 10. Lips filing for Vexatious litigant was based on what Lisa told her. Lisa's constantly counting individuals in a case. Lips did no research of her own. Well, what's funny is, again, in the first part of it, she removes one of the criteria components. That's the only copy and paste portion she didn't do. She didn't post in the thing that would work to disqualify the person that she wants to go after. So she did know that part didn't fit. And then, but yeah, who knows? I mean, these people are all, if you're taking advice as a quote unquote retired lawyer from someone else on that, well, that'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Cynic, thanks for the 2. Randy will probably ask for fees responding to it. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Or tell them withdraw it or else, you know. Sometimes you'll get one of those too. We'll see. We will see. Yeah, you get all kinds of good stuff like that. We'll see the best course of action. Catch up. Thanks for the 2. The stupid really shines through this filing. I know. It is amazing, isn't it? When I first saw these filings, I was like, these aren't real, are they? But yes, they were. They very much were. It was amazing. Sometimes I'm astounded. Hey, Stacy. What's up, Stacy? Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships there. Thank you, Stacy. That is awesome of you too, by the way. That's, like I said, that is awesome. When you put them together and people get hooked up like that, I think it's a great thing because it helps the channel out, but it also tells people, hey, we appreciate you too. I love it. Thank you. Cynic, thanks for the 2. Money for Bucks Cleaning Supply Fund. Well, thank you. I'll tell her that too. I'm going to tell her that she's picked up some money, but it has to solely be used for cleaning supplies. I'll be like, yeah. I'm going to tell her, congratulations, you got some money today. She'll be like, oh, really? I'll be like, yep. But she'll probably be like, keep it then. Can I trade it in? She is funny. She's always looking for a way, like a workaround for something like that. She does good though, actually, of you know, I laugh about it, but she does really good, like helping and stuff. So if there is cleaning that needs to be done, she does like to be a big helper, you know, and come out and do something. Hey, Cynic, thanks for the vibe. Instant death when you go down the wrong hallway. Yeah, that does. I haven't played Half-Life 2, episode 2 in a while. My oldest has really been interested in Half-Life. She's been talking about it. She got one of those brain crab hats. she was saving up money, and I asked her, I was like, why are you saving up money? She was like, I want to buy a toy. And I was like, well, what do you want to buy? She told me, I want to buy this brain crab hat. Like, why in the world? I mean, have you even played the game? I don't remember you playing Half-Life. She was like, I played some of 1. I'm like, oh my Lord. She's played a lot of Portal too. So, I mean, that's another one of their games. This was a triumph. Man, it's sad. I know that song by heart. The Cake song. I love that song, actually. William, thanks for the 5. It's possible Lips was in one of her manic states. When manic people will think absolutely stupid stuff is genius and perfect. Oh, yeah, that is 100%. You know, there's a classic video that people are shown that it showcases a manic state. It's one of those they use in psych classes, and it shows a woman that, you know, you hear about bipolar mania, you hear all this stuff, but when you truly see it, a lot of people, since they just hear it, you know, with really not extreme conditions. A lot of time, I think a lot of it's misdiagnosed too. I'd see a lot of misdiagnosis, but when you see it presented, you don't see extremes normally. When you see a truly extreme case, a lot of people think it's something like schizophrenia manifesting, you know, something like that, and it freaks them out. But yeah, when you see people that are just the poor decision making overload. Excuse me, I was using some nose spray. This weather is killing my sinuses. Oh man, I guess I'm going to be eating with family tomorrow. That sounds like fun. That'll be fun. And I got to get the kids together. They'll have fun with it. We're going to go out and visit some family tomorrow. We'll be back for tomorrow night, but tomorrow afternoon. Sherry, thank you for the gifted membership there. Thank you, Sherry. That is awesome and much appreciated. Kermit Lips. Love it. Thanks for the 8. Because Lips copy and pasted, she used a paid lawyer's work. Can they bill her for the work they did? That would actually be really funny. You can actually, well, since she filed that, you can demand that she remove it, or else, you know, you're going to sanction, you're going to ask for sanctions or whatever. I mean, you can clearly see she did it. The problem is, you know, typically when she runs into problems, she just runs off, you know, she ends up canceling what she's done, and then she tries to slink away into nothing. But right now, that's not going to work for her, you know, because she can't really just slink away from what she's done here. With the Telegram thing, I'll have to check. I can't remember. Write me and ask me that. I'll have to check. Like I said, I can't remember. Yeah, thank you for the gifted membership there. That is awesome of you too. Like I said, I love gifted memberships. So thank you for that. Appreciate that. What's up, Tinny? I love Tinny. My grandmother was named Tinny. I've never met another Tinny before. So I love that name. No, I've never met another Tinny beside my grandma. But I always loved her name. It was so, I liked her name because it was just so unique for me. And again, Maybe it's just because I didn't know any other titties. Maybe it's not as unique as I thought, but it's always seemed it to me. I've never met any other tinny, so that's cool. I was always told your personal business is as private as you keep it until you file a lawsuit, then it becomes public forever. That's indeed true too. Well, that's why when it comes down to this stuff, I personally, again, I don't like the game with lawsuit. And when certain people hear that, they think that leaves you open, for them to mess with you in some way. And that's not at all the case. The case is, most regular people don't want to have to screw around with litigation. That's usually why people like this, they get away with what they do, because most people they avoid litigation. They'll do anything to avoid it. And I mean, these people, again, they've known that. I hate that these folks have browbeaten and bullied so many people in the past too. And we know that. I mean, we know it for a fact that they have. It's very annoying. I mean, they did it like when she talks about her own family. Like, imagine that. Imagine like messing with your own family in lawsuits. Not because they're awful or anything, but just because. Remember, she accused her own father of horrible things and then turned around a week later and was talking about her father was the only person that she had on her side while her horrible mother did blah, blah, blah. So just remember that. I mean, this is the same person that said and did that kind of stuff. I find that to be terrible, Because, I mean, when you think about it, she's been willing to set her family's life on fire, to set their reputations on fire. And they tried to help her. I've seen proof of that. I have. I've seen proof of it. Much more proof than she's ever shown for anything she's claimed. And she burns people that try to help her. But it was crazy when she claimed her dad. She did that because she was mad at her father for talking to somebody about her and the awful that she does. Like, I thought that was so terrible of her. Imagine, I can't imagine accusing like my mom and I have a good, even my father, I'm my biological father. I'm not close to him at all, but I can't imagine utilizing that, even if I weren't close, for a reason to try to burn his life down. That's craziness, isn't it? Hey, Hazel Monday Ingle, thank you for the 5 there. Sunday Candy Monday. Sunday. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's awesome. Denise, thank you for the 20 there. Hey, Tug, have a great evening. Taco Money. You know what? I was thinking the other day that I need to make some tacos. So that is funny because I've been thinking about it. I was thinking, man, we need a taco day. The problem is the girls, they are so picky about stuff with meat. Not like vegetarian wise. The little one will eat steak. Oh my Lord. I took her to a place, they have steak medallions, little pieces of cut up steak and little potatoes and stuff, right? And she told me, well, I'm going to eat a couple of bites of yours, Dad, because I always get that at this one place. And I want some shrimp. So I got her a thing of shrimp. And then she ended up eating all of mine too. I ended up I ate some of the potatoes and ate somewhere else later. But it's funny. She'll eat that, but tacos or something, no. She's like, nope, don't want it. So funny. Dark Industries, thanks for the 10. Just competing my 47. Hey, that's awesome there. That is awesome. Let me definitely, I took my headphones off. Give me a second. I need to put them on for this. Give me 1 minute. That way I can hear a certain song. Here we go.
Happy, happy birthday.
47
From all from us to you.
That's amazing. And look, happy birthday. Enjoy the day.
All your dreams come
All your dreams come true.
Happy, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
We love to have you here. Happy, happy birthday. Here's to another
many more healthy, productive years. Heck yeah. It's beautiful. And hey, I hope you had a fabulous birthday, for real. You know, it's always nice just to be able to look at another year that's gone down in the books and to be like, you know what? I've made it. I love it. Give me a second here. I'm looking for live stream and seeing if What the Hales is up yet for redirect. My voice sounds like it wants to give out today. It's being stupid. Let's see. Is that the right one? Oh, yeah, the Memorial Day one. There we go. All right. So what I'm going to do is redirect you today. Now, again, while doing this, remember, have a wonderful holiday. Love to you folks. We will be back tomorrow. We will entertain and dance for you. That's right. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody either. Oh, I love all you folks there. But I'll see you.